versus a sexuality. Frank, you had a question?
I just see it as a negative, positive, or A and B giving way to C.
Yeah, A and B, yeah, right. It would be cleaner to talk about it that way than negative and positive, because everybody puts a good and a bad on it.
Well, I'm talking about the
gender.
Yeah, the electricity flows. You have to have negative and positive to.
Yeah, exactly, to make it work. Other questions on the meditation nectar? Well, then the next nectar that we made is cause and effect. And cause and effect is different than the meditation nectar to the extent that it is used in a meditation before you meditate. But it allows you to meditate and assists you a little bit in your meditation, but not as much as the nectar of meditation. For people who are having problems with their meditation, they should use meditation nectar because it allows them to get into the silence of their self. But what the cause and effect does is it allows us to go into a meditation, and it sets up a very clean-cut recognition within our consciousness of cause and effect when we come out of our meditation in the next few days. If we use cause and effect for a period of time, all of a sudden everything that we see around us is very easy for us to understand in the terms of cause and effect. We see the causes all taking place, and we see the effects and the results of the causes, and we gain an understanding that we happen to be a particle or a thing within this universal law of cause and effect that's going on. And it gives us a perspective of our position within cause and effect and puts us sort of in our place. Puts us in a consciousness of understanding where we really are within existence. And so what it does is allows us by that recognition to expose ourselves to ourselves because of cause and effect. And then from that point on, we can go on. Through the recognition of oneself, we can make a transformation. Yes? Anybody have questions on cause and effect? Why don't we take a little pause here. We left off with cause and effect, now we'll go on to neutralization. It's made in the same manner, except it's made with different resonations and different energy state is put into neutralization. And neutralization is a real interesting nectar. It's an amazing nectar. That's the reason why we restrict the distribution of it. On all the nectars, everybody knows that we don't sell the nectars, that we take donations for them. And the reason we take donations for them is because that means that we can restrict their distribution. We can only give them to the people that we think are going to use them properly, because they're to be used for a specific purpose and not be used for something other than what their designed use in the original purpose was. And so as time goes on, we always want the nectars to be restricted in distribution to people who are going to use them properly. And if anybody ever finds out of a circumstance or a situation where someone is using the nectars improperly, we wish it to be brought to the attention of everybody so that we can restrict the distribution of the nectar to those individuals. Anyway, as we go through life and we're stuck in karma, we have swings of the pendulum, back and forth on the line of the two opposites, the positive and the negative end of pole of everything that we do in life, like hot and cold, love and hate, and all these kinds of things. And what neutralization does is allows one with the proper teachings and the proper consciousness to neutralize the swing of the pendulum. If you are off on one real heavy swing, let's just say into a pleasure state, and you know you're going to be swinging back into a very uncomfortable, painful state, you can use a very small amount of the neutralization, and what it does is allows you to hop over the swing as it goes back into the pain and be an observer. The swing still goes back. It does not stop the swing of the pendulum. It still swings, but allows you to move out of a direct experience with it into more of an observation with it and experience it vicariously through an observation of the swing. The same things will take place. The same action and activity will take place, but the depth of your dealing with it will be lessened because of the neutralization of the swing that goes back. Does anybody have a question about that? Does everybody know that that's what it does?
Well, so say if you're, I don't know, say if you've kind of, I don't know, there's been times when I've like been meditating for great lengths of time and finally got to this place, you know, this, I don't know, I kind of finally got tuned in, but it just kind of like burns itself out after a little while, you know. So is that what you're talking about with the pleasure?
No. What's happening there is you're losing your strength within, or your will within, and it's being depleted. And we're going to talk about that later on in this class on another topic here. But what I'm talking about is, let's just say that if you go out and you max out on speed, okay? And you're doing a lot of speed and you get real high for about a month straight. When you go off of the speed, what happens, Lane?
Kind of really crash.
You crash? What's the crash like?
I've never used...
So Lane, what it does is it neutralizes those swings and cuts the... you jump above the swing. The swing still takes place, but instead of being in the wave comes in, and say you're on the beach and everything, okay? And the wave comes in and smashes on the shore. Instead of going riding with the wave and getting smashed on the shore, what you do is you jump up to the wave and you're still in the water behind the wave, but you make your ride a lot better to the shore. You maybe catch the next wave in.
So explain a situation where it would come in handy.
On the speed situation that I told you, if you've been out doing speed for a month straight, okay, and you're getting ready for a big giant crash, you would use a little bit of the neutralization, but I would say at this point it's crazy to do speed. All you can do is kill yourself. And so, and it would be real questionable to use the neutralization for something like that. I'm talking about something mental that you've gotten involved in. Like, for example, when you get on a real bummer downer, okay, and you've been really depressed because of something that you've been involved in or what you've been done, and the whole world's going to the pits for you, you use a tiny amount of the neutralization, like about an ounce every 2 days. And you do your meditation, and what it does is it lessens the swing into the depth of the depression that you're having. And allows you to get a perspective of it.
What happens if you get a bottle and just go and drink the whole thing? Like I've seen some people do.
It ruins you. What it does is it's like committing suicide. Going home and drinking a whole bottle of neutralization, because it just turns you into a numb vegetable mentally and fries your brain. So you don't want to do that. It'll set you back in your evolution 6 months by doing that.
So you're saying that the intensity of the activity that you'll be involved in as a result of where you've been, like the depression, swinging to the other side, the intensity has a curve to it, and you will still take place in the activity with less participation in that.
Exactly. You'll still be there, except it won't have the effect on you.
It's not going to make something go away that you're going to avoid.
No, it's not going to go away. You're still going to go through it, but it's going to make your participation in it less intense.
And a better perspective of what's taking place.
And you'll understand it versus being caught up by and smashed and destroyed by it.
Right, rather than being just smacked into like a victim, like you were describing in the wave, and smacked up against some rocks or something.
Right.
You'll be able to ride it in, so to speak.
Right, exactly.